have a server we can use?
I can't do servers anymore after I got the new internet. But maybe we can
Yeah,
find one.
whatever track you want. What we were talking about,
Nuremberg.
Spa Nürburgring? Yeah.
That's the
So,
first one I will.
so Nürburgring we can actually use ACC SS because that should probably still set up for Nürburgring practice.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is. So if you type in on the server browser for just search ACCSS, all in one word. So the letters ACC and then SS. And then the practice server there is still set for Nürburgring.
Practice.
Yeah, so the one that's called ACCSS, the Championship Series Practice, we can use that one.
Yes. Perfect.
What car?
Lexus.
The Lexus. Go in the Lexus.
Yeah. I'm skipping. I'm going to let the Aston go.
The password for the server is just ACCSS. So all lowercase, so ACCSS, all lowercase.
Yes, I'm on my way in now.
There we are.
Yes.
So, what's your issue with it?
I haven't tried that much on Nuremberg yet.
The password for the server
But on Spa, I'm missing some turning. I think I'm missing some on this one as well. It's just not turning enough. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I know it's a new car and everything. Doesn't behave the same, but still. I haven't tried that much on the...
Do you have a baseline, or are we just running standard default aggressive?
I was actually on aggressive. I'm doing 55.7s with that one as the fastest.
Okay, let's have a look then. I'll just
need to
do the same.
remember to put the telemetry on. It's not the default on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
So
and then 45 liters of fuel.
45.
Yeah. It's for a race setup.
Race setup. Yeah, no problems. Let me just get my bearings straight here, and I always do a OneNote with the default aggressive screenshots. Just I take always a screenshot of the tires, the mechanical grip settings,
okay,
the dampers, and the aero. So I have the baseline noted down. So if something goes wrong, I can always revert to the baseline and do some adjustments.
Yes.
So this. There are quite a lot of things new with the updated version of the game. So
yeah, you said the wing doesn't have that much impact.
At least on the Honda, it's less. Well, actually, it still has some impact, but you have to turn it down quite a lot compared to before.
Yeah, because I have tried on Solder to give it 2 clicks. If you gave it 2 clicks and not did anything with the rear before or suspension or anything, it would be crazy.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't handle it. So let's just have a run through the settings. So tires, we have toe 01. As is, this is the race setup. We'll turn that down to 08. So 008, the toe. A little bit lower, so a couple of clicks. Camber -38. That's we'll start off with that one. That's fine. Okay. Rear toe, we'll try to turn that down to also 2 clicks to positive 008. And then we will try to just put up the pressures a little bit, just to get our baseline going. Leave the rear camber at -3.4 for the start, and we'll try that.
And a couple of clicks. Or how much PSI do you want?
I'm just 26.2, 26.4, 26.0, 26.4. Just 4 or 5 clicks on each tire just to get a baseline. And then electronics, TC3, that's fine. ABS4, that's fine. Map 1, that's fine. Turn on telemetry labs. And then you said 42 liters.
45.
45 liters,
Yeah.
that's good.
42.
Front brakes 1.1,
Yes.
that's fine. And we'll go mechanical grip here. We have
The bump stop
anti-roll
is
bar 5. That's 1. Yeah, that's too low. So let's put that up to 3.
yeah.
The 1 is way too low. We'll probably need more bump stop, but we'll start with 3.
Yeah. Oh, and I have success with the brake bias to put it 3 clicks more forward. You can brake so much harder and so much deeper into the car.
63.4 then?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Let's leave the anti-roll bar 1 on the rear for the time being, and we'll go out and do some laps. Also, we're not going to touch the wheel rates just yet. However, the bump stop range on the rear, we can just turn that down to 30.
Yeah.
Turn that down to 30 to get our baseline. And then dampers, we're not going to do anything with the dampers yet. Aero, 55, 80, 11. Rear brake ducts. What temperatures are you on in the race?
I don't know. Haven't heard anything.
Okay. So we'll leave the brake ducts as they are.
You can always open them.
Yeah, exactly. So we can always open them if we are overheating. All right, let's go out and do some laps then.
Yes, let's try. 3 laps or so. Or
yeah, 3-4 laps. We'll see. I need to check my graphical settings here just real quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The new graphical settings are working perfectly for me. Before I had my resolution scale on 85, so down a little. Now I have it on 100. Some settings are on epic, cool. And the rest on high.
Wow, that's very good.
Yeah.
What graphics card are you running?
1660 Super.
1660. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot out of it then.
Sorry?
You're getting a lot out of it, out of the graphics card. That's very good.
Yeah. And
a lot of performance.
Yeah. And when I'm streaming, I'm getting 80 FPS. And when I'm not streaming, I'm getting 95, 105. So, pretty good. Just do a couple of laps and see. Oh, it's a green track, isn't it? Yeah, I think. Okay.
There's a little bit more rubber on the you can see it on the asphalt.
No, it's not.
Understeer off of
On the exit.
yeah.
I have a lot when the car is neutral, you don't brake or give any gas. It's very understeer for me. That makes sense. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, we are going to be cutting down quite a lot on the practice session, so the race will start considerably later.
Yeah, okay.
Because I do agree that it's not efficient. It really does. Be a little bit more easier for
Yeah, but isn't it hurting more the English guys? I mean, they're going to be racing later.
No, that was the reason earlier.
Oh yeah, earlier, that's why.
Everyone's got a race. No, I don't think so, because the race, instead of starting starting, so
9:30 our time.
9:30 our time. When we're starting 8 our time, 7, I think that's a reasonable time. Most of the English guys don't have small kids though.
Ah, okay.
The kids are a little bit
really gripping the curbs now. When after the update. Pressure loss. Just got a puncture.
temperature wise, I have front 88, 84 and rear 85, 83.
How can you see that?
I have 7.
Ah, okay. I'm understeering for after I hit that curve. Really fragile my wires.
You have to take care of them a little bit more. You can't just throw the car over the curbs anymore.
I know, but I always try aggressive, and that's not easy for me anymore.
I understand. It's a bit sluggish at the moment.
Yeah. It is.
Don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, it is maybe a little nervous sometimes on the exit, just a tiny bit. I don't know what you think.
My point of view a little bit here. Okay, so setup-wise, let's open up Modec and we'll see what values we have. So
open
this last file here. Green. Okay. So we'll do last 3 laps, hot laps. So suspension-wise, we're looking quite good actually. I would add 1 rebound. That's it on the fronts. So 1 rebound up on the fronts. That's fine. The rest I will leave as it is. On the rears, we will need to add a couple of clicks of bump. So 17. Add a couple of clips of bump up to 17 and leave the rest as they are.
Yeah, and 1 up and rebound in front.
1 up, yeah, so on the front side we have now 10, 10, 16, 20.
Yeah.
And on the rear 17, 12, 25, 18.
Yes, me too.
So that's good. Now let's check our tire temperatures over the last 3 laps.
How do you get that?
Oh, I can show you. I can share my screen.
Yeah, I was just going to share.
Second screen. So I'm sharing my second screen on the Discord.
Yeah.
So this is my Modec. This is where I saw the. Are you seeing my screen? Actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this is why we need to add some bump here to push this down, and just 1 click of rebound to push this down. It's looking good.
Yeah.
So if you go here, if you have the same workbook that I do, and I think maybe you do.
I have.
You go over here and go select tires and brakes. You can see this tires and brakes right here.
Yeah.
And then if you go to, you have pressures, pressure track, temperature track, and brakes.
Yeah.
So obviously the most important one being pressures. So you can see once the tires are heating up on the third lap that we did, we have this light blue line here, which is the left rear, a bit low. So left rear, I would turn that up by 1 click. And then on the darker blue, that's looking fine. That's the right rear, so I would leave the right rear as it is. And then the yellow line, which is the left front, a bit high, so I would turn that down 1 click. And the orange line, I would just leave as it is. So left rear up 1, left front down 1. That's for the pressures. And then the temperatures, the third here, we can see that the optimal.
When you say 1, is that 1 psi or 1 click?
1 click, 1 click,
okay.
Not 1 just a 1 click.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
So that's the pressure wise. Yeah. Obviously, this is for a full race stint. So in general, you would like to just increase all of your quality pressures by 1 click, 2 clicks, just to make sure that you're not going to lose air during the stint. But let's try to make them optimal now for the 4th, 5th, 6th lap, and then we'll see how we base that going forward.
Why is yours so much different than mine?
Well, driving styles. This is very individual. So both pressures and temperatures are very individual. I just want to see how my workflow is.
Are you showing more than 1 lap? Because I'm on lap 3.
Yeah, I'm showing more than 1 lap.
How do I do that?
Lap 2. Oh, you can go up top here.
Yeah.
You see this is a green, and you just drag it across all of your hot laps.
Yes. Okay.
So then you can see
much
2,
better.
lap 3, and lap 4. Yeah.
And
so
I can see when I got a puncture.
Exactly. So that's why. And then temperatures, optimal temperature range is anywhere between 75, 80, and up to 95, 100. And all of the tires have pretty good within the range. So this obviously would be for the brake ducts to either open the brake ducts or close the brake ducts, even if you have higher or lower temperatures. But this is looking this is looking good for the moment.
What did you say was optimal?
Anywhere between 85 and 95.
Okay.
So that's the target where you want to hit, so that you can have lasting tires.
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. We'll go back to the suspension tab. General, not really that much to see here. Understeer, oversteer, not that interesting.
Suspend. Yes.
If you go to the general, the first one, and then go to number 3, that's understeer, oversteer. This will show you with a well, the scale is the redder it is, the more oversteer, and if it's blue or violet, the more understeer. So we can see on the turn 1 we are understeering a lot on turn 1, and then we are oversteering a little bit on the exit of turn 2, but that's fine because
when we get on power.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, we can control that, so that's fine by counter steering. And then again, turn 3 understeering on the entry, and then a little bit oversteer, and then a lot of understeer on the turn 4. That's normal. That all the cars understeer there, but you know some cars are better than others. And on power, we're oversteering. So this is just confirming what we already know, really. So yeah.
No offense, but mine is looking much more green. I don't have that much red.
That's very good. So very good on the steering inputs then. So this is just to give you a confirmation of what you're feeling throughout the lap. So
difference in driving style again.
Exactly. So no big deal. So if yours is green, that's excellent. That's where you want to be. So that's very good.
Just need in turn. Yeah. And also when I go up, what color did you say if I'm understeer? Understeer is close.
More violet, blue, violet. That's understeer.
So we
light
want
green, blue, violet, and then you have yellow, orange, and red. That's a little bit more oversteer.
Yeah. I got it's every time I'm on neutral. I can see.
Yeah. So when you're coasting, then.
Yeah. Like I said when I was driving.
Yeah. Exactly. So we're not going to pay too much attention to that at the moment. We're going back to the suspension settings.
Yep.
And then this is very interesting. So we've done a little bit of adjustments on the dampers. That's fine. If we now go to the ride height, this is very interesting. So in the past, with the cars, we have said that a higher rake on the car will produce a more aggressive turn in, right? So the aero balance will shift more to the front, giving the front end more grip. So this is very interesting now because the aero physics have changed a little bit. So not necessarily higher rake will give you more turn in, but still lower front. Not necessarily higher rear, but lower front. This is where you can see how low you can go. So what is this graph showing? This is the ride height of the front. So you can see here that the ride height on the left front and the right front, they are not even close to zero. You can see the 0 marking here, down here. So we have a lot of
10 millimeters
to go lower. We have we have 10 millimeters to go lower. So what I would do now, just to get us started, I would turn two clicks on the front arrow tab on the car.
2 clicks on front.
So from 55 to 53.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So we'll start with that. And on the rear, we are can see that we are also far from bottoming out the rear. But before we do anything to the rear, we're going to check another graph. So we're going to check the rake track setting.
That's the one I'm using normally.
Exactly. So we're going to check the rake track. And what we want to see on the rake track is that there are several things. So on the long straights, we want the rake track to be touching a little bit yellow, a little bit orange. That means that the car is producing so much speed that the rear is pushing down on the car. So we are producing a little bit of drag, but that means that we are actually going quite fast. But on the turn-ins, we can see that we are producing a lot of rake. So that's a lot of positive rake, obviously because we're braking heavily, so the rear is lifting up, right? So the rear is lifting up. Does that mean? It means that the rear end potentially can lose a little bit of grip, but that unsettles the car. It's getting the car out of balance. So What I have had to do in the Honda, I've had to lower the rear wing by quite a lot, but I've also had to lower the rear ride height a little bit. So what I suggest we try, just to see if the same thing applies to the Lexus as for the Honda, is that I would also lower the rear ride height to 70. I would lower it to 76. So I would lower the rear to 4 clicks
Okay.
to counter the aero variation. Now, rear wing. Rear wing needs to get a lot lower. So I want to lower the rear wing by 5 clicks or 4 clicks. Lower that to 6. We'll try it to 6.
Okay.
Trust me on this one.
I do.
Trust me on this one.
Yes.
And we'll see. We'll see if the car is sketchy on the rear end and compare. Now, the bump stops next. Oh yeah, that's a lot of bump stop on the front end. So, and no bump stop on the rear. Okay.
But
so
can I say something?
Of course.
Maybe the bump stop is the reason why we didn't go lower. And,
Exactly. So this is where we are doing the changes and seeing what they produce.
Yeah.
So if we've lowered it too much, we'll clearly see that on the graph, and then we'll adjust. But we need to get to a point where the car is aggressive enough that we feel that we can push it to the limits comfortably, and that the rear end doesn't step out. And this is where the rear wing. So more rear wing will always produce more stable exits, but there is a point where too much will make the car understeer. So this is what we're trying to. We're actually just provoking certain changes in the behavior of the car. There's still a lot we can do on the mechanical side. So we saw that the rake isn't really changing, it's staying green, so we can soften the rear, and we will soften the rear once we've just done a few more laps. Especially if the car is snapping out on the power after the exits.
Yes.
We can turn down the wheel rate on the rear and control that a little bit. But for now, we'll just try going up on the bump stop rate to 5 on the fronts.
Yes.
However, we are going to counter it a little bit, so we're going up 1 on the bump stop rate to 800. The wheel rate on the front, leave it as it is.
Yes.
We may want to stiffen it a little bit so it doesn't vary too much, but leave it as it is for a moment. And on the rear, on the bump stop range on the rear, going down to 24. 24 bump stop range on the rear. And then on the preload, on the power rod, I want to go down to 70, just down 1 click on the preload.
Yeah. And it locks up easier and understeer more out of the turn. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So out of the turns, it will try to control the TC with the preload, so it doesn't spin the outer wheel too much on the inner. I'm not sure which one spins more,
but what I have read at Coach Dave, also when you're braking and turning, you will also loosen before and then give more rotation. And we were understeering without any when we were what's it called? Neutral.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So.
Okay, so that's it then. We'll go out and do 3-4 more laps, see how this feels.
This will be interesting.
So what we want to feel now is especially we've lowered the rear wing quite a lot. We've also lowered the front by 4 clicks. The front we lowered by 2 clicks, and the rear we lowered by 4 clicks.
Yes, I just spun out. Crashed in the pit.
Oh.
I made a croissant.
First out lap after the pit stop, we always want to go narrowly, not too aggressive because
just getting some heat into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially after this update.
Yes. Once the tires heat up, they grip up fairly good, but up until that point, they're a little sticky. So on this track, where it's best to see if it's too little rear wing. It's on true micro S's. If you have the rear wing spinning out, then you need to add a little bit more. Now, however, I thought they're a little bit of underturning, so the front end is not turning. On the exit, shimmy on the rear a little bit. We talked about maybe softening up the rear a little bit, right?
Better turn in for me. Please like it. I need to do next lap.
Do some 3-4 laps. Get the turn. Losing the rear on corner exits. Corner exits are good, but corner exits are bad.
Also, when I'm trail braking, I'm losing it every time.
Yep. So we're going to have to...
But I have much better turn-in when I'm lifting up.
Yeah, we're still going to do 3 hot laps because I want the motor to get updated.
Yeah.
The rear is front end starting to get there, but rear end is very still.
Oh, it's sideways.
Yeah, I had that.
God, I love this new wheel.
What you got?
CSLD. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a DD.
Yeah.
I could adjust to this with the trail braking, but I'm not stable with it. But on the neutral, the coasting now, it's just so good.
Yeah, better. Nice. Probably because a little bit less freedom, right?
Maybe. they gone into the pits?
More laps equals more data, so
Yeah, I
I
know.
want a little bit more data, and I messed up the last.
Yeah.
I messed up the chicane on the last lap. So
Ah, damn.
why you do this to me? Let's just finish the lap and just to get the telemetry registered.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back and check what we had. So out of the corners, a little bit too sketchy. So what we'll do is we'll actually we'll go into the modec and just check our quickly reload our file, and we'll check our rear ride height. Check to see if there's anything to go there. So terrible laps though. Front bump stop range a little bit better. Ride height. Yeah, it's lowered a little bit. We have still 10 millimeters left. I would say that we are on the rear ride height, that we are pretty much where we should be actually. On the fronts, we still have a lot of space, so how's the error variation? If I lower the front by one click, it's 1.9 versus 1.4, so that's 0.5. And then if I lower this, is 1.2. So what I would like to do is lower both the front and the rear by one click. So front 52 millimeters and rear 75. And then I'll go up the rear wing to 8. So the rear wing to 8.
75, 52.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the rear wing, I'll lift that up to 8.
Yes.
Check our rake track here. Yeah, not too different, really. However, I would like to see my bump stops again, and the rear bump stops are barely engaging here on the SS, and that's fine. That's fine. So what I would do is I would lower the rear bump stop range to 22. I would lower the... Oh, that's a lot. The rear wheel rate, by one click down, it's down to 136, down from 154.
Yeah. I
kind of wish they had a
something between
level, something like 140 or something, 142 or something like that. Okay, leave it at 154 for the moment. However, turn down the rear bump stop rate to 500, so down one click from 600 down to 500.
Yes.
And we'll have to go out and see a little bit about where we are now. However, let's check our tire wear. Our tire wear is looking fine. We could actually increase our rear camber to 3.5 to get a little bit more grip, but it will also do a little bit more understeer. But we have a little bit more. Yeah.
Where did you see your rear tire wear?
my rear tire wear in the fuel and strategy, if we go to tires at 1, 2, or 3, or 1 or 2, we've done 2 stints. So if you go to tires at 2, you can see that the wear is 289, or on my tires there are 289 on the rear and 289, 288 on the fronts.
Mine is 291 to 90 to 90.
Yeah, so it should be we are aiming for a fairly even wear, so with a small difference, of course. The longer stints, the bigger the difference will be, but the tire will be able to handle it. So if you're going out on a 45 liter lap or race, sorry, then it's no problem. The tire will handle it. So I've increased the rear camber to 3.5. And we have adjusted the ride height on the front and the rear, and we've upped the rear wing by a couple of clicks.
What about the front camber?
Front camber, just leave that. The front camber can stay, because this is a race setup, so we want a little bit lower for the tires to hold, to get not that uneven. So the rears is not too much on 3.5. It's fine. If it's too sluggish, then we can just turn it down to 3.4 again, but 3.5 I think is fine.
Okay.
So yeah, let's try this then. Fresh tire sets and go out again.
Oh yeah, I changed that. Yeah.
Make sure you have
front bump stop. Did you do anything to that? Because we were hitting that.
Not yet.
Okay.
We want to see if our wing levels are better.
Yeah. Like I still have the more turn in on coasting. That's good.
It should still
Wrong gear.
What wheel rim do you have?
What's it called? Formula V 2.5. But it's with the leather grip, because I'm not using gloves.
The pineapple grip? Or no, V 2.5X?
Yeah, no, it's a brand new one that came out for, 1 or 2 months ago.
Okay.
snap than me.
The exit?
Yeah. Over the curb.
Because you hit it or because you...
Yeah, because I hit it. But
the curbs are more dangerous than before. Definitely.
they said they would be easier to drive on, but I think they're harder because they are gripping the tires. I'm following you. More stable.
Yeah, that's a better, yeah.
So the trail braking is better. A little more understeer now on the coaster. Yeah, I would like also on the exit a little more grip. So maybe on click down on reload pedals. That's what I would do. Maybe just one more wing. Because high-speed corners I'm also going sideways. That's why you're here, to tell me what to do.
Yes, exactly. Problems of making everyone else faster and making myself.
not feeling it. I think this is almost the worst you've had for me.
There.
Yeah, but if I was going to do a setup now, I couldn't tell you what to change now, because I feel right now this is the worst setup for me yet.
Okay.
So right now I think everything is wrong with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We'll turn it back to what we had before then.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is starting with the tires. So the camber on the rear go to negative 3.4, and that's the only thing that we touched here. So negative 3.4 on the tires, rear tires. And then obviously we didn't do anything to electronics, because fuel strategy is the same. On the mechanical grip side, what we did is we lowered the bump stop range to 22, so go up to 24 again.
Yeah.
On the bump stop rate at the front, we up to 800. We can go back to 700. So bump stop rate at the front.
Yes.
And then on the arrow, we lowered both the front and the rear by 1 click. So we're going to I'm actually curious to see the ride height on the fronts before we do that. So on the front ride height on the Modic, you can see that we are having a ride height. Oh, the ride height is fine on the Modic. It's just fine. So, but just to follow what we did, we'll put it back to 53 on the front and 76 on the rear. So ride height 53 on the front, 76 on the rear. And then that's what we had before we went out again. So with this baseline,
didn't we do something to the wing?
We added 2 clicks of wing. So
But I think we should leave it at that, and
I think we should leave it now. Okay. To make a couple of adjustments. And you said something about the preload, but that was before we put back all these changes. So right now, I will go out do quickly just 2 laps, just very quickly get around in 1 hub lap to see if the feeling that you had earlier gets back.
Okay, with the rear wing at 8.
Yeah, leave the rear wing at 8.
Yes.
Lap, just to see that turn in trying to feel what the rear is.
That's a throttle for me already. I think so. Yeah, well, it's good tires, but
we also have the kind of like EP pedals.
Yes. I went all in the deep end.
Yeah. That's the only way to go.
Yeah. But I don't. Still think the alpha is better.
Well, it's difficult. I haven't really tried it that much, so.
Yeah. But I don't need any more power. I'm not even using this one with power.
No. Even if you did, it's good to get to know how the wheel works before you eventually looking into that force.
Yeah. So much more stable over curves now. I don't know what we would do.
This is the thing, right? We just need to go back to the things that felt it.
Yeah.
But to do that, we need to know, okay, what settings are making it worse and what settings are making it better.
Because doing the opposite of what we just did doesn't mean that it's going to get better either.
Oh, exactly. That's why also we need to understand what this camera means, what this effect does that have, what this preload means, what this effect is having,
Yeah.
and also the real range and the right and so on and so forth. So generally speaking, lower front end or lower front right height will have you better turn in, more grip. But then simply to get balanced out with the wing, the right height, and mechanical grip as well. So I kind of wish that they had another level to the grips.
So good through the system. Personal fastest lap, so not bad.
Were you getting those times before as well?
Yeah, it was only 1/10 of. Oh, see, now it's snapped on me.
You were doing 56 months before the lexus?
I have done 55.7 with the aggressive. Same fuel.
Pressures looking?
A little low on the left side.
So my left rear is a little bit low. So turning up a couple of clicks there. It's fine. So we'll save this setup just to make sure that we have the baseline here. We'll just let the server reset. Go back to the modex and what's going on. So we have 2 laps here. 2 terrible laps, but still 2 laps nonetheless. Front is not bottoming out, rear is just fine. So this is ride height wise, pretty happy actually. So feeling on the car, turning good or bad?
Yeah, if I'm on trail braking,
yeah,
sometimes it snaps on me. When I'm cruising, now it's okay. Sometimes understeer, but okay. Under power in the fast section, it's in the Schumacher SS, it's just flying, taking the curbs and then just flying.
Yeah, because you're pushing through there, but you're probably just letting off a little bit and then back on power real quick.
Yeah.
So that means that you're on the power. So more interesting would be how when you're coasting, when you're letting off, is it sluggish, slow, snappy? Because on the power, it's you're producing forward movement and you're provoking the rear end to step down. So you're going to have a lot of downforce once you hit the throttle.
Yeah, but it's not understeery, although the weight is shifting rear. So that is good. When I'm off throttle, cruising in, it's I would say a little to the understeer side.
Okay, so what we can do then, we go back to the arrows tab and we'll raise one click the ride height to 77. Just 1 click to 77. So now we have the front ride height 53 and the rear 77.
Yes.
The wing will just leave at 8.
Yes.
And then I wanted to see the bump stops, so it should be fairly similar. Yeah, the bump stops were fine. Bump stops were fine. Yeah, let's do a couple of laps with this. These settings.
Yeah. It's not even hitting bump stop where I'm feeling it was understeering.
Yeah.
So. It's not because of that.
It should be. No.
have been validated.
That is frustrating.
Feels good now. What do you think about this?
Yeah, good races. I really like OBS's. It's really good OBS. It's very stable. Setup-wise, it's actually feeling kind of good.
You just don't like the Bentley or the
No, I like the Lexus.
55.6. It's this one. Would have been better 11.
Oh, there's a side of my Lexus. I feel like I need to overdrive the car when it's front end.
Yeah.
So that's what I've noticed because I'm obviously driving on immediately cars. You can drive a little bit different, especially on the rotation.
Yeah. You need
So
to
I
be
feel
more
like
smooth.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like in front end cars you need to drive them a little bit different to get some sort of lap time out of it, and it's a different style to what I'm used to.
Yeah. So this is my style, aggressive.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah.
And the car is feeling good.
Yeah, I think.
Agile, nimble.
Yeah, but still stable.
Exactly.
Just lost a couple of 10 minutes.
Not nowhere near 55. That's just my driving, not the setup.
Lost a lot on the exit there.
Feeling better, more comfortable,
Much
pushing
better.
a little bit. Much better, cool.
Yeah.
So let me run you through this setup just to see what else some general guidelines to what you can do.
Sure.
we'll leave the setup as it is for 24-degree weather. But if we go starting from the tire setup, we can check something. So first and foremost, we haven't run the tires hard enough to get some sort of wear. So the fronts, if you would have wanted a little bit more on the front end grip, you can turn up the camber to 3.9. If you feel that the turn-in is too slow.
Yeah.
Especially on the no that just increase one click if turning is slow. Now the rear, it's on the tire setting, the rear does the opposite of the front. So obviously the toe, if you are experiencing a lot of spin, a lot of oversteer, you could add a couple of clicks on the toe and add rear camber. But if you are happy with the way the rear end is behaving, I would just leave them like there is right now. It seems to have a good balance overall on the car for you.
Yeah.
So on the mechanical grip, so let's say that we would have had a nervous rear end, but nervous in regards to especially cornering. So especially on the apex, once you hit the throttle, if it would have stepped out too much, we could have turned down one click on the wheel rate to soften the rear a little bit. Would have given us a little bit more movement of the rear, a little bit more grip, a little bit more grunt going out of corners. That would also make the rake track a little bit redder, meaning that it would produce a little bit more drag on the straights. But this is where overall lap you would need to see, are you gaining overall on the corners or are you gaining overall on the straights? So this is the trade-off, right?
Yeah.
On the front end, I would leave the front end as it is now, but it seems it turns in good. It seems that you are happy with the front end behavior.
I might set the bump stop rate down to 600 or 500.
Okay, that would even mean even a little bit more aggressive turn in.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can try that one click or two clicks down. That's fine.
Yeah.
Dampers. Let's go back to the suspension history and watch our last 3 laps here to see what the dampers are doing. So.
Yeah, we haven't been checking that much.
No, we haven't been checking at all dampers. So what I see on my side of the graph is that the front end is looking just fine, but the rear end is looking to need a couple of clicks of bump.
Yeah, so also rebump, I would say. One click of rebound.
No.
No, one less rebound.
One less rebound. So that I can agree with. So what I would do is I would do the following. I would put bump 19. Fast bump 11, so down one on the fast bump. Rebound 24, so one less on the rebound. And fast rebound 18. So on the rear I would have 19, 11, 24, 18.
19, 11, 24,
18.
Where do you see the fast bump?
The fast bump is on the lower right side, so I feel like if we are going to add 2 clicks of bump, the whole right side of the graph is going to go down, including the fast bump. But I want the fast bump to stay a little bit higher, so that's why I took off one fast bump. Okay. So you can see my screen?
Yeah, but don't you need to increase fast bump to put those higher?
No. Once you click more, also more clicks is lowering the graph, less click is raising the graph.
You're right.
So because I have 2 clicks on the bump, it's going to lower everything by a little bit. But we need the rebound, that's why we took off one rebound to get this back up. The fast rebound is looking fine. It's looking like a very nice graph, exponential graph here. That's perfect. But on this side, it's a little bit asymmetrical. So once we are pushing this downward, I want this to come up a little bit so that hopefully we can look at this exponential line. Hopefully. Yeah. Obviously, we'll need to do some more laps, but I think I'm done for the night.
Yeah. I totally understand.
Ride height, looking good. Ride height's looking right on the spot, actually. So obviously now, if you want more turn in, you could do one of 2 things. You could either turn the ride height up to 78, so 1 click up on the rear.
Yeah.
Or you could take off some rear wing, but it seemed like the rear wing on 8 it's looking fine.
Yeah.
But you could, if you want a little bit more aggression, without doing too much on the rest of the settings, you could turn it up to 78 on the rear.
Yeah.
That would give you a little bit more aggression, but
Yeah.
obviously you would need to test it, right?
Yeah.
So
Before you
yeah,
go, I have one question. On Spa?
I'm not leaving you until we're good and ready. So I
Oh,
just
you are talking about you beat now.
yeah. I kind of am,
Yeah.
but we'll settle on this setup first. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Spa.
When I go up over Erouge and what's it called? Radion.
Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both front and rear are bottoming out. It goes
So on
in
this, yeah. So on this
negative.
setting, they're butting out. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I have tried increasing ride. I tried stiffening springs and yeah, everything, but nothing seems to work. And also, it's riding the front bump stop the whole track.
Yeah.
But we'll do that another day.
What's the range of the bump stop?
I can't remember, but it's just aggressive.
Let's go to Spa then, even if it's on single player. So, like I said, we're happy with the Nürburgring. So rear ride height, one up if you want. The rest is pretty good.
I'm pretty happy with this setup. It feels easy to drive.
Very good, very good. So let me see if there is. Is there anywhere we can probably find a public lobby with Spa? It's not terribly important.
I think it's just aggressive. I'm pretty sure.
I just want to see that if we can find just whatever Spa. I don't feel like racing Spa, not at all. But
no. We'll just need to find something.
yeah, I just need to test something. So
we have Maches. Oh, have you found one?
No, not really.
I have this one. Where did it go? There. Mackes. Mackes.
MACK?
Ja. IS. Maches Fahrschule. Es ist.
Okay, Fahrschule, okay.
Es ist
Deutsch.
Deutsch.
14, okay. It's a long practice session, okay.
Yeah, it was just to find one.
Spa, okay. Let's connect to that then.
See if we can get. Ah, it's night. You okay with that?
That's fine.
Okay.
So, free practice.
Aggressive.
I just wanted to see the settings here. So, yeah, same thing, right? So, really stiff front end, but the bump stop range is engaging over time.
Yeah.
And on the aero side, the front ride height is 58. But it's hitting the bumps out, and that's just bottoming instantly on the front. So what I would do here, I would definitely go up to 3 on the bump stop just to get a baseline started. It's really strange that the rear is bottoming out, but I can guess
it's hitting the asphalt, not the bump stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe it was hitting. I'm almost sure.
Okay. I would definitely start with the bump stop range going up to 3, maybe even 4 or 5, but let's do...
Just one quick question. The preload here is 60, and the other one in Nürnberg
is 80.
Yeah. How do you get the fastest corner exit? Isn't that with a lower one? Because you're pulling on both tires earlier.
Yes, but this is very relative. So, say that you are in Suzuka, or Paul Ricard for that instance. You have a Suzuka 130R, we have a very fast left-hander, and Paul Ricard, the end of the straight, we have a very fast right-hander. So, you obviously need to either be very brave and yeet it and hit the wall, or you need to do a slight lift before both of those corners, right?
Yeah.
So just a little bit of lift to get the nose in before you power down again. Now, once you lift, if you, for instance, in the Honda, the old versions, the old setup, if you lifted, the Honda on the standard aggressive setting would kill you. Would just go, the rear end would just say goodbye and it was off.
Yeah.
So, what needed to be done then? Well, several things. So obviously we needed to soften the rear wheel rate a little bit. So everything's relative, right? So mid-engine car, a little bit softer rear end would mean a little bit more travel, would mean a little bit more. It would settle down a little bit more because it just had a little bit more sway in the rear. Also, we could obviously add rear wing just to stabilize the rear, create more downforce. But the third thing was, especially for liftoff oversteer, was the preload. So you need to add quite a lot of preload, like 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks, depending on how much you were oversteering. Same thing in Silverstone. So in Silverstone, you also have some corners, especially the right-hand corners, fast right-handers, where you need to just lift off slightly before powering down immediately after. So it's just the slightest of lifts. And if you can feel that the rear end is stepping out on those occasions, try 1 or 2 clicks of preload up, and that would usually settle the car quite a lot. So
because it's not undoing the diff. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not locking up, it's not releasing everything. It's just providing a higher degree of force throughout the differential. So that's where preload, I would say, that if you aren't struggling with liftoff oversteer, then the next thing to see are you struggling with a lot of cornering out oversteer, so power on oversteer. So if you are struggling with a little bit that the rear end wants to slip up, if you have settled on the traction control levels that you want for the entire lap, then preload a click or 2 down could help you also stabilize the power after the corner exits.
Yes.
So yeah,
Makes
definitely
sense.
bumps up range. Definitely bumps up range 1 is that's too low. So try doing some laps with bumps up 3, and then comparing to what you feel the rest of the lap. It's going to be a compromise, right? Because you need a good setup for the whole lap, not just ready on an Eau Rouge. And if the car bottoms out just here, then that's fine. You can live with that.
Yeah,
I mean, if you make it,
there was no way I could make full power.
Yeah, you maybe need to lift off a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you keep full power on and you bottom out, you just understeer straight over the curve and you get track warnings or you can crash out. So yeah, I can see that. Definitely, I can see why that's happening. But you know, we can do a couple of laps here with some fuel and just see what the behavior is like.
The TC is 2.3. We need to up that with the new, I don't know. Maybe 3.3.
Yeah, the Lexus only has 1 TC, though. It just has TC.
Yeah, but
yeah, put that up to 3 and the ABS 4 just to have a baseline, I guess.
Put 3 clicks of brake bias to the front again, and
yeah,
that's it.
So
just try.
Put 45 liters again, or
Yeah. What are they?
The lights are just on or off. They're not like night light or endurance lights.
Oh no.
It's so much darker in the night than before.
Yep. Oh. Cold.
lot of understeer on 4 tires at least.
Yeah. But the first day I was driving my, or was it the second day I was driving my new DD?
Yeah.
I did a 16.9 in Spa.
Oh, was that before 1.8?
Yeah.
Seems to drop lower than.
Yep. A lot. No pressure.
Did you get a puncture already?
Nope. There's no pressure. Yeah, very understeer in the fast one, right? But so was the aggressive one on the Nürburgring. It's just made by the way. No way to do that without left foot.
Just because it's too understeer.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Oh, I'm in the way. No, I'm not. Way too understeer. Let's just pull over.
You want to pull over?
Okay.
But still, the rear is not gripping up.
No. So definitely loosening up the car here. So
Yeah, high speed.
both front end and rear end done one click, definitely.
Down one click. Yes.
Yeah. So 154 in both in fronts and rears.
Yes.
So up to 5 on bumper range on the fronts.
Yes.
The rear, just turn it rear down to 28 just to have the base. And it's not going to hit the rear.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to hit the rear. Arrow. I would actually go down to 56 on the front. And
But didn't you say down one click before? Or what was the
on
first?
the front?
No, the first thing you said. I think you said.
Yeah, on the wheel rate down, making it a little bit looser.
Okay.
A
Wheel rate.
little bit looser. Yeah, both fronts and rear wheel rates down one click. So from 17.3 to 15.4, and the rear from 17.5 to 15.4.
Yes. Okay. Now I have it.
Yeah. So tires, rear camber down to 3.4, rear toe down to 0.08. Front toe, front camber can stay the same. Mechanical grip, yeah. Bumps up range on the front up to 5. I said that, I think. Yeah.
What about the arrow?
Arrow. So down 2 clicks on the front, 56.
Yeah. 84.
On the rear, no, go 80 on the rear. 80.
Okay.
Brake ducts down to 3.3 maybe.
Yep.
And yeah, let's save that up and go again. We need to make enough changes that we actually feel a difference in the setup, but not so much that we get lost, you know?
Yeah.
Why is this guy slowing?
Yes.
Oh my lord. Was the guy stopping after the pit exit?
Yeah, please don't do that. Oh, I have lights and high beam. Yeah. You do. Yeah, I have. on braking. Oversteer. It's better, but yeah, still too much. Did you go out again?
Better. Still on the steering. I just want to do one lap so I can have some telemetry to look at. Hitting 267 on this thing.
Yeah. I hit 268 earlier. Way too understeer.
Why did you want to leave the Aston?
Just to try something new. I've been.
Keeps it interesting.
It's the only car I've been driving. Then I thought, new wheel, new game. Let's try it. Yeah. Always liked the Lexus because of the sound also. I would prefer the Audi, but it's just too hard for me to drive.
Have you tried it out on the up?
Yeah.
Going up, still snappy.
Yes, but it's, again, I'm driving so aggressive. So the McLaren feels okay. Yeah. Also, Lambo Evo feels okay.
If I lift there, I can survive it. No!
Or take 3 wingers off or something like that instantly. And what do you do when it's under braking, trail braking? Oversteer.
What? Oversteer? Yeah. So you need to move the brake bias a little bit more forward.
Yeah, but I had that trouble when you made the bad setup, or what do you say, the one that I didn't like at all. I had some, there were coming some.
Yeah, we need to turn down rear camber then. So turn down rear camber, negative 3.3. Turn up front camber to negative 3.9.
Oh.
Yes. So that's for the tires. Mechanical grip. Mechanical grip. Let's see the telemetry if we are bottoming out Eau Rouge or what we are doing there. So I said that he had quite a lot of understeer on Eau Rouge, but we are not bottoming out. So if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can.
We still have, I think that the front end is good now, actually.
Yeah.
The front end is where we want it to be. And the rear end, you can see the same corner of the rear end. I would say that the ride height is nailed to a T, actually. That's really, really precise, that is.
Yeah.
So 5680, I think that's a good spot to be.
Yeah.
We could maybe lower the front by 1 millimeter. I think we would be closing to the limits there.
I don't think so, because you will also maybe have some extra fuel. So I think
Yeah,
this is good.
exactly. So 5680 looking good.
Yeah.
Rear wing. The car is understeery in
Take
general.
it off.
Yeah, but not too bad. So go down one click
Okay.
to 7. Yeah, not terribly much. One click 7. However, we need to look at the. We're going to have to look at the mechanical grip side. So understeer. What's our bump stop size? So yeah, we're still engaging the front bump stop quite a lot. So the rear bump stop are actually engaging just in Eau Rouge, and they are engaging a little bit in the long sweeping left-hander. That's called Blanchiment. But the bump stops on the rear and the front. The rear are looking good. The fronts, let's try 6 at the front.
Yeah, but we're so close to the ground at the front, so maybe we're bottoming out now. I don't know.
We'll just have to try. Just have to try.
Yeah.
Anti-roll bar front, turn that down to 4.
Yeah.
And that's it. We'll try this. So lower rear wing by 1 click, and lower front anti-roll bar by 1, and higher bump stop range up by 1.
Okay. Do you know if these aggressive setups and that have been changed with the 1.8?
No, there should have been the same.
Okay.
At least I'm pretty sure that's what Aris said in his stream, that the setups are basically the same. He also said that they are good, still they're not.
You wanna go for a drive? Or?
Yeah, I'm out on a lap here. I want to test 1.5 times the Rouge.
Yeah.
Very sketchy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's just over. Or front grip. I'm not really sure there.
The rear end that's worrying a little bit.
Yeah, well, let's wait for the high speed and see what that is.
I didn't lose the brake lights,
Understeer. Oh, in after Puhan.
Yes, is there?
Yeah, and understeer on the braking after.
Understeer on the braking.
Oh yeah, oversteer on the braking and understeer under power.
I should take off something.
Way closer to me.
Yeah.
I actually went full throttle. Not full, yeah, it could be better. Oh, so much. much more than it is.
Wanna go through the route again just to see if we are running out with a higher box output.
Still goes to
Power up?
yeah.
Better, but still some things to just
Yeah. You put it on.
So back to the setup screen. Multic real quick here. And on the right heart. No, still not bottoming out, so definitely box up range is, I'd say, where I want them. Suspension histogram looking good. There's nothing to do there. Rate track, obviously hitting 268 on the straight is very good, so nothing to do there. Bump stops, yeah, it's fine. Anti-roll bars. A little bit of sway. You could obviously stiffen them up, but this would loosen the front anti-roll bar to adjust, allow for more front end movement. So preload down to 40, I think. Down to 40, I think. So hopefully that will allow. But then the rear wing is a tricky one. Because if it understeers on the high-speed corners, the rear wing is a very tricky one.
Why?
Because you said that you had power on oversteer, right?
Yeah.
And the rear wing, if it's lowered, it's going to have more power on oversteer. So if it's going to allow for better turning on the high-speed corners. This is where you need to make the compromises.
Yeah, but then we have done something to the preload because the
we did something to the
oversteer is the slow corners where you don't have that much downforce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to take one wing off. I'll try that.
Yep, try that. Try that.
How about bump stop in the front? You want to go up to 7?
We definitely could go up to 7. I feel we could go up to 7 pretty safely, actually. So yeah, try that, 7.
You want to make the rate, not the range, but the rate softer?
900.
Huh?
So yeah, go around like that.
And also, if you still have some high-speed oversteer, won't anti-roll bar affect high speed more than slow speed? Do you know that?
that I have has high speed understeer. No, the anti-roll bars are more for corner exits.
Okay. Okay.
So corner exits, especially mid speed, low speed.
Okay. I thought that was for high speed.
Anti-roll bars, not so much. We can see in the model later what sort of corners they engage the most.
Ah. Yes.
You can see that in the model as well.
And that's exactly why I thought, because the higher speed, higher G-force, the more lean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Please. I will have. See. Not so snappy on the rear end on the braking, or do you mean better?
More control, yeah, not snappy.
But you feel like more turn in on the exit of the corner. Still snapped on me.
Try control. Oh, fuck. Looking at my values instead of looking at the track.
Crossing start finish line. Or the finish line, not the start line. Nope. Yes. High speed felt worse than the Radion. Nope, that's it. Nope. Feels, I don't know, sluggish, and yeah, it's not a bad drive. Yeah. But it's the wrong button. But Danny, that's it for me now. I'm too tired to go do any
Yeah,
more.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I just wanna yeet it one last time through a rouge. See if I can take out this GT4 in front of me. Oh, I actually made a Rouge now.
You did?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Maybe it was
You need
just.
to try. Yeah, you need to try again tomorrow once you're freshened up a little bit.
Yeah, but it
Save
could
the
al-
setup. Save the setup and try again tomorrow.
Yeah, but it could also just be because it's what was the track 12 degrees. It maybe needs
Yeah,
one extra lap to warmer.
obviously,
Probably.
obviously.
Maybe.
Okay, man. Well, at least we finished up the Nürburgring setup. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that felt good.
Yeah, and same principles apply to the Rouge. So
Yeah.
little bit less, rear camber, just a tiny bit less toe, a little bit more front camber, so negative 3.9.
Yeah.
A lot more bump stop range. There were that was just stupid with the one.
Yeah. It's the same
And in
thing on the
general,
Ferrari.
yeah, I know, and the Lambo also has the same.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the first thing I changed on the Ferrari, both the Lambo, because with that low range, you're instantly bottoming out. You're instantly hitting the max.
Yeah,
So
you have no lean.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can't drive cars like that at
No.
all.
No. Yes.
So okay, man, I'll
Yeah.
talk to you later then.
Yeah. Thank
Good
you.
luck. No problem.